Are you prepared for a storm? How about your family and children? It's important to talk to your children about disasters before one actually happens. Don't alarm them about the disaster, but do let them know that they can hurt people and damage property. Also, let them know about the people who can help during a disaster, so that way they're not scared of firemen, policemen, paramedics, or emergency officials. Find out what kind of disasters can happen in your area. The best way to find out about the disasters that can happen to you is by asking questions. Always have a plan in place. Tell your children about the disasters that are likely in your area and how to prepare for them. Make sure they know where to go in your home in case of a disaster, such as a hurricane. Explain to them situations where they may need to call for help. Pick an out-of-state family member that everyone should check in with should you and your family get separated in an emergency or an evacuation. Agree on a meeting place away from your home in case of a fire, possibly a neighbor's home or somewhere else nearby. Practice your emergency plan at least every 6 months. Also, if you have pets, make sure to plan for them as well. Most emergency shelters do not accept pets because of health concerns, so make sure that you have somewhere to take your pet in case the emergency shelter that you are evacuated to doesn't accept them. Let your children make their own disaster survival kit. Items included in that kit should be a keep-safe box. Have them place things in there that make them feel safe and like they're at home. A blanket, pillow, or a stuffed animal. Books, games, puzzles, paper, a deck of cards, crayons, anything to help them pass the time. A change of clothes, shoes, toothbrush, toothpaste, and soap in case you are evacuated and need to shower. Pet supplies. Let the children take care of the pet supplies and put it in their disaster survival kit. It will help keep them busy should you be able to take your pets with you. The first thing to do when a disaster happens is do not panic. Children can pick up on their parents' fears and anxieties, and experts agree that you should be honest with your children about what's going on. Just be sure about the amount of information that you give to them and that the detail is appropriate for their age. Find out what children have heard about the disaster. Keep them from being exposed to images on TV and hearing what is happening on the radio or the internet. Continue to talk to them and explain what is happening in your own words. If you have to evacuate, keep the family together as much as possible. Calmly explain to your children what is happening and let them talk about the disaster and what is going on. Listen to them. And if you can, include the entire family in the conversation. Give your children chores and responsibilities that help them feel like they're part of the recovery and get them back to a former routine as quickly as possible. After a disaster, around 25% of children who are exposed to a disaster report symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, depression, and panic attacks. If a disaster interrupts your child's routine, they may become anxious and not want to let their parents out of their sight and refuse to go to school. Take your children's feelings seriously and provide them with reassurance with your words and actions.